Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our project podcast. I'm your host, Kenji, and today's a little different because I have here with us Christina.
Hello.
Yes, she is the director of Project 559, and she's been part of D&J for a long while now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Christina, why don't you tell us a little bit of how you got started with D&J?
Okay, I got started with D&J 3 years back on the first day of National Dance Day, the first time we ever had that. And that's hosted by Crystal Tizcareno at Fresno City. And so I performed that day with Immaculate Trait because I was taking classes there and I was a student there. So during the performance, or I think it was a little bit before, I remember running into Daphne in the hallway, which if you don't know who that is, that's the D in D&J, Daphne. She's the owner, one of the owners of D&J. So I ran into her and she was mentioning to me like, hey, I'm starting a dance company and I really would like to maybe have you a part of it and, message me if you're interested. And that was the first time that I was like, oh, I guess I can find myself in D&J, dance there and kind of see how I feel about them and put a section of my life into them and see how it is. Because the first time I've ever been to D&J was probably 2 months prior to that, before being asked to actually be an active member there or go there. I just took one class during summer and it was Daphne's Jazz Funk.
Did you like it? Was it eye-opening?
That class?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely different. It was a vibe that I felt that I was looking for. And it was a feeling that I felt like I was looking for from an instructor as well. So when I took Daphne's class, it just really challenged me in the right way, because sometimes I feel like I don't use a lot of stamina in some classes that I have been in before. And so that was kind of a missing feeling for me. And when I took Daphne's class, I was like, oh, I really like this. I'm sweating. I'm learning new moves that I like, and it just vibed with my body. And so from that day, I know I didn't go back and take a class after a while until I joined again as a company member. But I remember that day. I remember that class. That's the first time I ever took from Daphne. That's I first met her. I met Joe that day. And it was just very interesting. It made me motivated, which is really cool. And I remember the song we did. It was Work by
Rihanna?
Fifth Harmony.
Oh, Fifth Harmony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's so much work songs.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, there's Rihanna, there's Fifth Harmony, there's Britney Spears.
Oh, God. Yeah, see, there's a lot of those songs. And they kind of came around the same time.
Yeah, which is crazy enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but we did a Fifth Harmony song, and I just remember, not exactly struggling with it, but, actually picking up the moves, and it just felt really nice. And I think from that day, too, that's when Daphne first saw me, and she had mentioned that to me on the day that she ran into me on National Dance Day, hey, I remember seeing you, in class, and I do see potential in you.
Oh, you caught her eye.
Yeah, so I was just okay, that's really cool that people take time to see you and, scout out for you. So I think that really warmed me up to, want to see what they offer or how they work and how my experience could be there, a good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's how it all started.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. It's funny because I would use the first day of National Dance Day to count how many years I've been with D&J. So
oh dang, well that's a
really
good
cool
counter, yeah, because it's consistent.
It's super cool, yeah. And it's National Dance Day, one of the coolest dance events in Fresno. So yeah, it's really cool, and it's from the first one that started, and I don't know.
Yeah, so
really
you've
cool.
been part of the original of a lot of things then.
Right, yeah. So I've been with D&J for a while. So yeah, and a lot of things have improved, changed, and it's crazy. But
so how would you say your growth or experience with D&J has shaped you into who you are now?
I think just being resilient and enduring the hardships of trying to challenge yourself as an artist, trying to grow, and so, sometimes feeling lost. Like, sometimes you feel you're not doing enough. Like, as a dancer, I feel like a lot of artists, in other mediums, but in dance, I always feel like artists who really want to grow, they feel that sometimes, like, hey, I'm not doing enough right now, or, like, just give me more, like, how can I keep improving? And with D&J, like, it helped me just kind of relax that thought and just believe that I am doing enough. And part of that is because of the atmosphere at D&J, and Daphne and Joe being really encouraging and giving positivity and sharing to you that whatever you're doing is great and you're growing, and that's the point of it. And it's not to like, oh no, you're not like this yet, or you're not like that yet. It's never about that. It's like looking at you as an individual and appreciating everything you are and pushing you to grow from that even more. And that's the beauty of it, and not seeing it as like, you just suck. So like getting that inspiration from them and getting that like mindset, like that positive mindset, that's what always kind of helped me. And I just grew from that, really. And the maturity aspect too, because I started to develop into having a lot of responsibilities at D&J. Like, first was a company member, so just enjoying like training, enjoying being taught and working as a team and learning how to work as a team. And I guess I can start there of like growth. When I was just in the company, what I really learned was teamwork and how you have to work as a team, but what really is behind that is understanding each other. And it's like you have to pay attention to everyone's emotions, but at the same time you have to pay attention to like the goals and the physical stuff that needs to happen, like the conditioning, the dancing, like so then that's like the physical part. And then the other part is like just goal focused and like professionalism, towards each other and working with each other by connecting all the physical things we would have to work on, and like training and all that and performing, and the emotions behind it,
Right. So a lot of factors go into like being together as a team, because you're all individuals working together. Right.
So that's where I really grew in teamwork and understanding other people, and that really helped me when I was in the company. And just building like feeling. What I feel like is most important in teams, especially, is like you have to be passionate. Like it's not like you have to be, because if you're not, then you're not. Like you can't force that, But there's that passion that's there and that drive that would make you grow. And like with a team that's so empowered, like because you're feeling that from each person, and so you have to give off that energy too to receive it. And when you give off that energy to other members, if they feed off of it, which is most likely they will, and then they give it to other members on the team, and then as a whole unit we give it off to whoever's watching us, whoever's a part of us.
It's like a pattern. It just flows down from one person to another.
So that's where I really grew too, was understanding the big impact behind that and enjoying that. Like I think that's what I learned, that's why I dance, kind of thing. And that was really important to me. Like that's why I dance, is to push that out there, like good energy,
That's so nice. And you've learned that in
just the company, really.
In just the company. Yeah.
And then while just being in the company, I started dabbling into teaching too. And I got to start teaching here as a hip hop instructor. Well, when I first started as a teacher, I was like, oh my God, like, am I ready? But they see something in me, right? And so you just go head first into it. And you learn to trust yourself, and that, what comes with it is like you worry, but part of the worrying is why you should work hard and maybe plan out how you're going to do this, or, really look in depth into what you're giving during class to students and the whole aspect. And so
it goes back to being goal oriented. Like, what do you want in the end? For not just you, but for others as well.
Yeah, like the big impact factor, and also yourself. Like, you have to pull this out of yourself. Like, and sometimes you get insecure or whatever, but when you're suddenly just thrown into, getting to teach, it just comes natural, and you just, out of nowhere, you didn't know you could do this, but it's going, and it's really cool. So I got to see that, hey, I do have like these certain teaching abilities and qualities, and so I really like that, getting to do that and getting the opportunity to grow in that. And I think the biggest thing I enjoyed about the teaching part at D&J is getting to impact all the students, whatever their age was, really. I learned to just respect every age group, because I was teaching kids from like 5-year-olds, and then I was teaching teenagers at the time who were probably 18. And then, who was the oldest teacher I ever taught? Probably 30 something,
Yeah.
so probably around 30 and almost 40. So, whenever I would talk to them, it's like we all come back to the same aspects, like maybe things that are holding them back, like insecurities, and like that's stopping them from just enjoying the dance and then being able to really like do it, or execute it correctly. So it was really cool seeing that even though we age, we all need to keep refreshing our minds that, we're like, stop being insecure, you're here to just learn. Like, that's one of the things as a teacher I've always really saw, that sometimes we need to be reminded about that. Or sometimes some people were never told that, and that's the only thing that is ever holding them back.
I never heard that in grade school.
Exactly, me too.
Yeah,
So
imagine how more like successful students would be in grade school if teachers would just tell their students, "You're here to learn, be successful, stop being insecure, you got this."
Right, and like, this is a safety net, and you're not even supposed. Don't feel like you're exactly like you're amazing, and you're just, nothing is supposed to be in your way. Like, you're not gonna go through anything like hardships. Like, it's not all that. It's just telling them that like, everyone's here to learn. We're all okay, and like, don't talk down on yourself, because that's just gonna stop you from growing.
Yeah,
and
I mean, everyone has their own burdens to bear, but it's how you deal with it that really determines like your character and how people perceive you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I gotta stop watching Pokemon, because I learned that from Pokemon and from teaching, of course.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Besides all the behavior stuff, with kids.
Yeah, I mean, some kids like to act out, but those are learning lessons too.
Yeah, that's true. That's such learning lessons. Or you learn why they're doing that. It's not because of you as a teacher. It's because things going on in their own life, maybe their parents, like, maybe their friends, maybe
different
school.
Factors play.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so funny when you get to see them like that, because you're like, oh my god, like, I know how that feels in a way, because you were a kid too before.
Oh yeah.
And as a teacher, I love that, because then you can if you're open-minded, you can put yourself back into their shoes and be like, dude, like, if I was your age, I would be telling you this, so I'm gonna tell you this now, because I get to as a teacher. And so that opens your opportunity up, and I just love that about teaching, and teaching kids. Like, yeah, it's amazing. And like, what I've learned too with D&J, because I got to like exercise it because I was a teacher here, is like really going back and not being afraid of going back to being a kid, because when you're around kids, you can't just be like a super serious adult, so you have to like go back into being a kid, and like, that's how you connect with kids. If you got to put yourself back into their mindset, and like, not have fun with them in that way, like, be a kid again, have fun with them. But then you have all the wisdom, I have more wisdom, you have more maturity, and then you can slowly seep that in for them to grow and like, shape their personality. If they're being jerks and they don't know it, that's how you make them not be jerks,
Yeah, because, I mean, kids, they don't come here to want, like, nothing but structure and, like, all these principles that they have to follow. That's why they go to grade school. So they have, like, all these rules to abide by. Us, it's like, come in here, do your thing, keep your hands to yourself, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, so true. But sometimes they think this is grade school, and they want you to yell at them. Like, sometimes, like, because that's what they're expecting. And it's like, well, if you're not participating right now, then, that's your loss, because this is only an hour. Come on.
Right, yeah. So I'm just like, let's just get back to it, and let's just try to experiment with what we want to do. So sometimes my students, they'll like not listen, and I'm just like, how about we bring out the ribbons and we'll do our dance with ribbons to
That's
like
fun.
make them enjoy dance again and remember that it's fun.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so I mean, teachers have stuff to learn too, just like students do.
Yeah. As a director for Project 559, learned a lot. Like, you learn even more on like the emotional aspects of everybody and how you have to be attentive to that, but at the same time give them a certain structure and make sure all the goals is met, but also all the individual, like what all the things that they want from it is being, you know, addressed, and that everybody's seeing eye to eye, but then also that things are fair as a whole, like looking at the whole team, you know, and making sure that everyone isn't stepping over each other somehow in some aspect, and that everyone's here to take something great from it, you know, and not turn it into anything bad, you know, because things can get sour quick. And, you know, with any group thing, like, you know, any group coming together or any types of people, because we all think so different.
Yeah, and we're all adults.
Yeah, and see, like, being an adult, it's funny because a lot of us are young adults, right, who want to do urban dance right now, you know, so we're supposed to be mature. Like, my shirt says adulting, and it's like like there's a battery and it's halfway. It's kind of like we're always still learning, like no matter what. And I think being a director was a very humbling experience, because you have to understand all your flaws, all your team's flaws, and that's how you can grow, you know, and still have the strength to grow from that. Yeah, so I think those are one of the biggest things I took away from it, and really enjoying all these other dancers, their time together, because you don't have a lot of, for me, I didn't grow up with a lot of dancer friends, so it was always like, man, I'm always this like the weird one doing dance, you know, like, why does she do that stuff? Or like, I'll invite all my friends who don't really dance or really care about it to like come watch me, and they're just like, can we go yet? You know, it's like, oh my god, like, no, I want to talk.
They don't understand.
Yeah, it's like, no, I still want to watch all the other dancers perform and like talk to them and like, you know, see everybody else perform, because I love dance. And so being around dancers who feel the same or feel a certain passion towards dance was like it's a great feeling. So I think all those things are really nice. And then being able to be a part of providing it for them was another, just the biggest thing you can take from being a director for Project 559. So that was my spiel on that.
Okay, so Christina, how about you tell me a little more in depth about maybe like a challenge that you've experienced, whether in the company or in Project 559?
Okay, a challenge for the company was different dance styles. Like, I love learning different dance styles, so it wasn't a problem, you know, because I am pretty open-minded about learning different styles. But the challenge in that was like, you know, if you're doing a contemporary piece, you better put your body into a contemporary piece, not do too much hip-hop stuff into it, you know, because, oh my god, I don't know how many times I'm in ballet class, like at Fresno State at the time, and we were doing I don't remember what it's called, but we would do a certain move, and she's like, stop making it hip-hop. I'm just like, I don't know what you mean. I didn't even know I was trying. You know, and so that was a big challenge, was separating my body to physically remember how to move in contemporary, and then how to move in hip-hop, and then how to move in heels type of dancing.
Different mindsets.
Yeah, it is really different mindsets for the body. So that was interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that, because the first time I saw company, y'all were dancing in heels, and then I saw you guys doing like lyrical or contemporary. And then I saw you guys doing like all sorts of different stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
you guys do so much. You guys are so versatile. It's
you know what's so fun though? Like when you do like when we did a hip hop piece, I was just like, yes, this is my shit. you know, and then like, but everyone else is like, I'm more of a contemporary person, I'm more of a heels, but then we all get to do like hip hop together, and it's like, yeah, this is me, like I'm shining in that piece, so it's nice, you know.
Right, each person gets their own moment to shine.
Yeah, and it's cool because then you get to share, because when we jump into heels piece or jump into contemporary piece, you get to see like who's more natural, who loves it more, and then you get to share some of their experience because you get to dance alongside of them. So you feed off of their energy of what they're giving.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. You know, it's kind of the thing where like, oh, we're doing hip hop now. That's my category. Okay, this is so cool. You know.
Yeah, you guys get to experiment. You get to throw in your own little spices.
Yeah. And I think
so
the
cool.
biggest part is you get to share. You know, you get to share the feeling of hip hop if you're really into it, or if you're really into lyrical, you get to share that when we do lyrical pieces. So it's really cool.
Right, you get to add in your own interpretation of something too. Dang, that's so nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Join the company. I'm like talking to just Kenji, but I mean anyone who's really interested in that type of challenge.
No, yeah, Daphne and Joe, they say that as long as someone shows like motivation, dedication, and passion for dance, like there's a possibility you could be pulled into their company. And that's for all of you viewers. Like, if you want to join their company, be a versatile dancer, do it.
Yeah.
More props to you. Any challenges in like project, whether it's like directing or finding a way to delegate and have everyone working alongside each other?
The challenge is really, like you said at the end there, having everyone work together in a certain way. I think it's a balance, because with a team, like even with project's mission statement, you know, we take pride in appreciating all our members as individuals as well. Like that's always super important. And even though we have like us being a group, we all look at each other individually as well, because some of us like more jazz funk, some of us like more
like
urban style or popping style, and then some of us like more like contemporary. Yeah, so it was trying to satisfy all of that too, like giving them something like a bit, being fair to everybody too, and then making it everyone shine in their own right. But and then from that, the challenge is like building from that is, okay, how are we as a unit? Like how do we come together and think as a group mind? And I think for me as a director, I have to give that atmosphere. I have to build the atmosphere. I have to guide it. So the challenge for me was like managing all the scheduling things. Like, oh my God, like we need to, you know, very executive stuff. Like, we need to do fundraisers. Okay, when do we start that? Okay, we need to apply for a competition on this date, or look out or scout for more members, or
a lot of like
promote something.
A lot of the like behind the scenes stuff, like like stuff
like real, the production stuff. Yeah. So balancing that part out with like trying to build and guide this atmosphere, those were the biggest challenges. But, you know, like I was telling some of our members, like for me, what's driving me is just like believing and having hope that we build a home for dancers. Like for me, like growing up, I grew up not around a lot of dancers, like I was saying beforehand, you know. So a lot of my friends, they didn't enjoy dance as much as I did, you know, and be like, want to dance all the time and like really, really grow in it. So I always felt kind of lost, you know, like I felt like, does anyone even feel this way towards dance? Or, you know, if I only had someone who felt that way, dang, like I could call them up and we can just make something or do a project, or, you know. And so the focus on starting Project 559 was to build a home too. And so it's like guiding that feeling with all the things, like all the, not boring per se, because that's how you build integrity of this establishment, you know, because everything that's you want to grow for longevity, you have to like nourish it correctly. You can't just let it run astray, you know. And so for me, it was like holding on to like both things. So like the
finding the right balance.
Yeah. And those are the challenges. And then still being human afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard because once you're a dancer, you're not really human anymore.
That's so true. Or like the only moments of being human is like dancing, like on stage or performing or just in practice, like just dancing together is the human part. And then like coming out of rehearsals and then just being super happy and playful and then just wanting to go out and do something together. Like those are the most human times, you know.
Honestly, I feel the most human I get is when I shower and then take a nap. And then I get up and I have to do everything again. So yeah, you don't even get to sleep. You get to take a nap and then you wake up and do everything again.
It's so true. But honestly, when you look at it, it's like everything that you work for, it like there's a benefit after that. And that's the benefit, is getting those moments on stage or those moments during practice. And looking back on it and be like, oh, that's like, that felt really good. And that's why I kept working hard or whatever, you know, for it. So yeah, those are my challenges.
Thank you, Christina, for sharing. Do you have any words of like wisdom or pieces of advice for anyone who plans on like joining like a dance group, or like whether they want to dance like in college or wherever? Any like aspiring dancers?
Yeah, I would say trust your gut. Really focus on why you love dance. Do you want to just keep excelling, like grow in it and dance and try to become a great dancer, the best you can? Or are you more of like just having fun with it and you love to just do it and share it with others? Or is it a combination of all that? You know, everyone's very different. So you need to ask yourself those things, you know, and once you ask yourself those things, and trust me, they're never absolute. They always change. But as long as you know where you're at the moment and what you want at the moment, that's when you can start like really looking and not just feeling lost all the time. That would be my advice. Because I know some of you might, especially in our small community, some of you might think like there's not a lot of dancing going on, or you might feel the same where like not you don't know a lot of dancers, or there's not a lot of people like your friends or something you're close to. They don't want to dance as much as you, or they don't see it as much as you in a certain way or in the same light. So you have to understand what you want from it first and how you enjoy it, you know, and how far do you want to go, you know, and no answers need to be absolute, but you need to know, at least. You need to know where you're at.
Stay true to yourself and see what you want.
Right, and see what you want from dancing. And then I feel like that's when it starts, you know. And I would say once you know your answer, look out into the community of dance that you're in, like anywhere you're at, you know.
Yeah. So maybe see if like, oh, let's say you're into like, I don't know, bachata or flamenco.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Find classes or like a small little community that dances in that own style or genre of dance.
Yeah.
And you'll find a way. You'll find a way.
And that's the fun part, is finding the way. That's like the moments you live for, you know. So even like if some of you might have a crazy goal, like, you know, being like a world choreographer, you know, or being like dancing with Rihanna or Beyonce or something crazy, like awesome like that and big. You should always dream, you know. It's beautiful to dream and all that, but think about the adventure too there, and like enjoy those moments, because that's where your real story is, and that's where your real joys are, is along the way. And then when you are there, enjoy that too. So always, I say, be in the moment. So being in the moment too is looking outwards into the community you're at, like wherever you're at, like looking into that community, connecting with the people who are there at the moment, you know. And you will find your way, you will find your path, and be committed to how you feel towards dance, you know, because if you did what I said in the beginning, step number 1, you know, keep that as a guidance. And whenever you feel off, go back to that question. Everything is always stepping back and looking back. So I mean, I've done it a lot of times. I know friends that are dancers, they go back and reevaluate how they feel again with dance.
Yeah, people are always trying to find themselves again.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens because things change, you know, and so you refine what do I really want this still? Okay, no, I want this now. And that's always fine. that's why we live. It's super fun, like, to go through the cycle again. And just be a better you, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say just believe. Train really hard if you're really looking forward to doing that. Don't give up. Don't listen to people who just think dancing is just a hobby. And when you're trying to show them that, no, it's like my passion. I love doing it. And be a smart dancer and a smart person. Because sometimes people are just like, I just want to dance. I don't, like, because I don't want a regular job. And it's like, oh, like, okay, but how are you going to feed yourself? Like, you need to be smart around that. Like, how are you going to build yourself in survival, but also enjoy dance and grow in it at the same time? So those are always my big advice. Like, you have to be smart as a person and as a dancer.
Yeah, like, you can pursue your passion, like, if dancing is your passion, but make sure you have something that you can back yourself up with.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're supporting yourself.
Yeah. And don't give up, because that's not the point. Like, even when things get really hard, it's not that you can't dance. Or if you can't go somewhere yet, like, say you always want to go to LA and experience everything there. If you can't go there yet, then don't just focus on that. Focus on, like I said, being in the moment, like, what's around. And as long as, like, you have your physical body, that's dance. Like, your body is dance. We dance because we have bodies, right? Like, you have your body. You do it. If you're just doing it in your room, you're dancing. Like, there you go. There's something. You have something, no matter what, no matter where you're at. So those are my biggest things, to believe in yourself and don't give up.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. Very wise words. So since we're nearing the end of the project season, what have you been up to lately?
Nothing much. Just working at a new job, so it's really nice. I'm getting, like, comfortable there, really, so it's really good. Instead of feeling like an outsider who had infiltrated this administration building, that I work at. So yeah, now I'm getting to know people and just figuring it out at my workplace. But I've been recently wanting to do gardening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you know what motivated that?
What?
Saving money.
I was thinking, like, farming?
Yeah, I was just like, and not like mass farming, just farming for myself.
Yeah, just like a small little person.
And trust me, I'm learning it from ground zero, so there's going to be a lot of bumps on the way.
Oh, dang. Well, don't be afraid to use, like, mulch or fertilizer.
Yeah.
And, try out some different seeds, see which side of your backyard or front yard works best with soil and that kind of stuff. Don't overwater your plants now.
See, I still need to research about that. But I guess I could just ask Kenji because you have experience.
Yeah. My parents are the farmers. I just like
Your
harvest.
default.
I'm the harvester and I sell vegetables.
Yeah, he's the default farmer.
Yeah. Born a farmer.
You must experience it. Yeah, no, my family, we used to plant bok choy, and that went really well.
Nice.
But that was at my old house, so we don't have it anymore.
Oh,
we have lemongrass. That's it.
Lemongrass isn't good. You can make lemongrass tea.
It's okay. I love lemongrass, but we have a huge wall, like a huge fence panel of just lemongrass. That's all we have right now. And it's like, dude, we don't even use that much lemongrass. Who uses that much lemongrass?
I mean, you guys can harvest it and sell it.
You could feed 6 Hmong families.
Oh my gosh.
For like a month with the lemongrass. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and you can use that for like seasoning in like la or
for like a whole month for like 6 families.
Yeah.
Or probably more than that, because you don't need a lot of lemongrass.
You don't. One stalk is enough for like a whole day's worth of like seasoning and stuff.
But dude, lemongrass is expensive at like American stores.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
You guys should just sell it. I'm telling you, harvest it and sell it.
Or buy it at Asian store. Or it's so easy to grow. So easy to grow and manage.
Yeah, it doesn't require much to manage because it's not like you got to go and pull out like roots or like dying parts.
Yeah.
If any part of it is dying, you just rip it off.
Yeah, you just rip it off. It's super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not that many like animals feed on it, like insects.
Yeah, that's for true.
Because it's so sour.
Yeah, it's so sour.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm lucky lemongrass is there. But I want to add way more to my backyard.
Yeah, you get like tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplants, maybe some bitter melon. Very healthy.
Yeah. See, when you say that, I'm already anxious. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fill out all that.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm gonna start with herbs.
Yeah, it's very, very trial and error. You know,
Yeah.
you'll find what works.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some herbs because it's cute too. And
I would say find the best way to like recycle the earth.
Okay.
So like some crops will refresh the soil,
right?
Yeah, and then some will use up more of the nutritional value of the soil compared to other vegetables.
Right, and then you should then cycle off to a different vegetable
so you can
afterwards.
rotate the vegetables, and some vegetables grow better than others during certain seasons.
Yeah. Oh yes, I looked at that. It was like a whole Fresno map of like when you should plant this. So I'm gonna go off of that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm going back to the basics of using Mother Nature.
Yeah. No, that's great because then it's organic.
Yeah.
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 That's great.
So this is awesome.
You should start your own fish pond too.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh.
No. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just keep buying fish. I'm good. I don't even know how to fish too. I don't want to learn.
I don't know how to fish either. Anytime I go to like the beach with my family, they want to go to the pier so they can fish, and I'm like, I just want to sit like on the beach and like play on the swing set or something.
Dude, that's me too. It's like waiting for the fish to freaking catch your line. It's just like annoying.
I can't do that. I don't have the patience.
Yeah, me too. I don't have the patience at all. I'll forget and I'll just leave and I'll forget the rod.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I can't fish.
I can't fish. No, I don't have the patience for it. Yeah.
I think the only thing would motivate me is that I guess what I could do is do the what do you call it when you just stab for the fish and stuff?
Oh, like spearing?
Yeah, like spearing. But I heard that's really hard.
It is because putting a spear in water is different because the light refracts how your spear looks in water.
So it's hard to aim. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
or you
hard
have to learn how to aim.
Yeah, because everything looks different in water.
Right.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That's my only motivation if I was gonna do a fish pond. Yeah.
back to like Gather and Hunter. Yeah. Like you're going back to like the olden days.
Yeah, this is me taking it back, old school.
When technology was barely being developed.
Yeah.
Like very, very first technology, a stick and stone.
Right.
That's what it was.
Yeah, this is all from like graduating college and just being done with all the college stuff,
Yeah, you learn all these things about life and stuff in college, and then you're taking it back to Hunter and Gather.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, no, I'm gonna go back to the basics now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think about the future. No thanks.
Yeah, no,
not right now.
Oh gosh, yeah, because if you farm your own stuff, then like money isn't a factor.
Yeah, like it'll just cut down my cost a lot.
Maybe that's how like minimalists are sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and because I'm pescatarian now too, so it would help, like, and I want to cook more since I have more time now and money. God. So yeah.
Would you eat insects?
What? Pescatarian?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say it was? Because Kenji did not call it pescatarian.
I like to make fun of Christina. Like, instead of calling her a pescatarian, I'll call her like a Pakistanian.
Which sounds really bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. or like a what was the other word? There was Pakistanian. There was
no.
I forget. There was another word that I used. Presbyterian.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. No, yeah, I called you a lot of stuff.
Thanks, Kenji. See, this is our connection.
Yeah.
I love you.
But, I mean, do pescatarians eat insects? Like, can you?
Oh.
Like, I've seen people eat, like, grasshoppers and, like, spiders.
It's not very specific about insects, so I don't believe you can with a pescatarian diet. But it's basically vegetarian diet, but you can also do
like
fish and seafood. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can still do dairy and eggs. Sometimes people don't know that vegetarians can still eat that. But yeah, but I'm not interested in eating insects, so I don't even care.
I mean, one time I was in LA
Yeah.
for like winter back in like high school, and it was Hmong New Year. My sister-in-law sends me a picture of my niece eating fried grasshoppers from the Hmong New Year. And I was like, oh, I didn't know they sold that there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a little exotic.
What is it, like little snack bags? Or is it just like a bowl?
It's almost like how in Asia, like there's street vendors and they have like the kebabs. They have just like the insects on stick.
It's like fresh.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo,
Fresh
that's
insects.
pretty exotic. Like, we're basically doing the same thing they're doing on the other side of the world.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, they just need to get like scorpions and like other insects on sticks. Like, I wouldn't eat it, but
I wouldn't eat it.
if it was like, I think if it was like barbecued or like candied, like caramelized, then I would probably try it.
You know what's funny?
What?
I'm just thinking like, okay, if I see a scorpion on a stick, right? I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna eat that. But if it's like dripping with like some sauce you really like and it's hot and steamy, it's like, maybe I'll eat it.
Maybe, because it's covered in sauce.
Right. Like, imagine if it was in Korean barbecue sauce.
Or like spicy mayo. Maybe something I'll try.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dang, now I'm craving like a poke
someday.
bowl.
Because
Spicy mayo.
Oh, I can eat that with you.
I know, yeah. We got something planned after this podcast.
Yeah. But that's what's been going on with me, so.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And you're done with school. You graduated.
Yeah, with my bachelor's of science, so that's good.
In nutrition?
Yeah, in dietetics, so.
Oh, nice,
I'm
nice.
happy. And I should be doing like, masters and all that, but I don't want to right now, so I'm just holding off on it.
Yeah, you've been going to school for a while. Like right after high school, you went
Yeah.
straight to college,
Yeah.
and then you just graduated. So
Yeah.
I think some time off is
It's
more
so
than welcome.
good. Oh, I love my time off.
Mm-hmm.
Kenji, you're gonna be there someday.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm going into my third year of college. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I might have to be there another year because I'm behind on units, and that's because business classes are so hard to get into.
Yes.
They're so competitive. They fill up before I can even register for them or put them on my wish list. It's annoying. That's like my only complaint. Not enough business classes at Fresno State.
Yeah. Craig School of Business.
Seriously. Like the biggest program there.
Yeah,
yet-
not Fresno State.
yeah,
Just that program.
Craig School of Business.
Yes.
I do still wish there were like other classes that were more open too, but I'm sure we just have to petition for another class to be open.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's like, I heard that some people were retiring, like a lot of the professors, and that's the big problem, right?
Yeah, so we have to replace those who are leaving, but that's
Yeah.
hard because you can't just hire someone right off the bat.
Yeah, it's not that quick. You cannot find someone with that great quality yet that quick.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I mean, it's not like professors are just easily lined up, ready to replace someone once someone just retires and they step out. Like I'm sure there's a whole process that's involved.
Yeah, there's a whole process, like the learning aspects. They have to like study under them for probably at least a year or something.
I'm sure there's a requirement. Yeah, like they have to I don't know, teach for a certain period, like a trial or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Hit us up, professors. Let us know how it's done.
Yeah, please, because this boy need to graduate and make money.
Yes, and then maybe I'll come back and be a professor someday when I'm like super old and cranky.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I can't see you cranky.
I mean, I feel like
honestly, you're the type where you're cranky and then like you'll act drunk, but you're not drunk.
it's just tired drunk.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a morning person. And then by the end of the day, if I'm all out of energy, I'm just like dead. Like I just want to go to bed. I'm not going to talk to anyone.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Like, okay, when we were practicing at some rehearsals and Kenji was working like all day because he was working at the New Year's for a while. And those vendors, they need you and they're going to use you to their advantage.
8-9 hour shifts.
Right. And this boy was like serving probably more than hundreds of customers.
Yeah.
And then we had late night rehearsal and he wasn't talking to anyone and we were just so confused. I was confused. I was just like, oh my god, are you okay? And like I asked him too afterwards, like, Kenji, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just like, well, I've been working all day. It's every single day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And we're just rehearsing late hours.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, I'll take a nap on my way from the Fresno Fairgrounds to the studio to rehearse.
Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes of nap time.
Yeah. And what's funny is when you ask him, he's just like, I'm just tired. Like, he'll tell you the direct, straight answer. And it was, I don't know. I was just like, yeah, you're right. You are just tired.
Yeah, I'm like,
so
I'm
sorry.
just tired. Wait until this is over. I'll be back to normal. Yeah.
I know. I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh my God, his dog died, or his mom left him. I don't know.
Something bad happened.
Something bad.
I'm just tired. Yeah, no, that happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be better about, like, using my energy wisely and not being too grouchy when I'm tired. Because I don't like being too grouchy all the time.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. Just
Yeah.
kidding, kidding.
I know.
We can't help it.
Everyone has their moment.
Everyone has their
We're
moments.
human.
Yeah. And, like, it's a safe spot when people can understand you, you know? So that's good.
Yeah, like, I like it when people are understanding. Like, we have our days. We don't have to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
Like, know your boundaries. Know your limits. And I like that about us. We know our
that's
boundaries.
so true. We know our boundaries. Yeah.
Right, so for our updates, D&J has just finished a fashion show at Macy's. It was wedding themed, so a lot of the guys got out there. They got nice little suits on, and the girls, they wore like bridal gowns. They had, what's that called? The maidens or whatever they're called. Bridesmaids?
Yes.
I don't know why that slipped my mind. Yeah, the bridesmaids.
Wait, is it bridesmaids or bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids.
Oh, shit. Okay. I learned something new.
Yeah, because they're maids of the bride. So the bridesmaids.
Got it.
Yeah, so the possession is
with
the
S.
bride. Yeah.
Got it.
And multiple braids.
Okay.
Multiple
maids.
Multiple maids.
I always felt like there's no multiple brides. I'm stupid. Oh God. Okay. Anyways.
No, yeah, bridesmaids. Yeah, no, yeah, that's why it's bridesmaids. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but we did that at Macy's and it was great. There were kids out there too from D&J. I love the kids.
That's so cute.
Yes. Well, thank you to Emily as well for hooking that up and getting that set all together. I know there were also a lot of like other vendors and other companies that were brought out to that. I'm not too sure about the specifics, but thank you so much for that. And then we also have a Zumba party coming up on August 24th at 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. This fundraiser goes towards a partnership with Salvation Army, and at the Zumba party, we will also have a raffle and we'll be giving out prizes. So make sure you come and enter. Pricing for the Zumba party, there is $10 for singles, and then there's also $15 for anyone who comes with a friend. So you get about $5 off if the two of you come together. So hit us up, come to the studio, and enjoy a Zumba party for donations towards Salvation Army. And then we also have Bring a Friend Week, the last week of August here at the studio. That's going from August 26th, which is a Monday, until August 31st, which is a Saturday. Enrolled students get to invite 2 friends to participate in class for free. Current class card students get to invite 1 friend for free. You also get $10 off for you and your friend when your friend enrolls in a class or buys a class card. So, I mean, if you want a deal, this is your chance now. You know, bring your friend, try out a class, and if they get a class card or enroll in class, you get that discount. Bring your friends, try out new dance classes, and you get more dance classes in return. It sounds cool. All right, and D&J has just finished up their Peter Pan auditions. The location of the recital is going to be announced eventually. We are still working on finding a location that is set in stone. But make sure y'all keep your eyes peeled and your ears open, I guess. Do people say that? Ears open? Yes, because our Peter Pan stuff will be pushed out all the time. We're going to be promoting it. This is for the kids. And these kids are so great. All these little kids, they were like, I want to be Tinkerbell. I want to be Wendy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're all so cute. I think you all do amazing. Yes, but Peter Pan, happening in January. So let's move on to project updates. Christina, I know that you are taking a leave of absence.
Yes.
So this leave of absence, you know, we're not too sure how long it's going to be.
All right.
But, you know, we have our reasons.
Yeah, I shall confirm. So what's happening is I'm stepping down from directing, and just for my own personal reasons, and just my own life kind of thing. So I'm just taking time off, and I don't know what's in my future so long term. Like, I don't know when I'll come back or when I'll adventure back into dancing in teams or directing in teams or helping out at all in any way. So, yeah, just announcing it really is just saying, like, I am not directing the next season. So you'll look forward to seeing who's directing it. So, yeah.
Right.
Tuned.
So Christina is still staying with us until the end of this season. But for next season, things are a little different. Moving on. Project season ends August 31st, if y'all didn't already know that. I mean, we announced it in our last podcast, but I mean, if you didn't listen to that one, then I guess I'll let you off the hook. Project also has their spotlights going on right now, and if you don't know what those are, Project has taken a photo shoot a while back, and we use those photos and we create bios for each of our dancers. And we release that on our social media, on Facebook and Instagram. And through these spotlights, we let the community see like what each dancer has done or what they mean to Project and just how they prosper as individuals and as Project members. So check them out on Instagram and Facebook. We still have some spotlights being released, so make sure you stay updated.
Yeah, we're pretty cool. So, you know, read each of us. Okay.
Yes.
And give us a like and hearts, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And share.
Not forcing it. You're going to like it, okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You'll like it. We're pretty down to earth. We're pretty chill. Yeah. And then we also have choreo nights going on. Like we said in our previous podcast, choreo nights is an opportunity for project members to create their own art and share that with each of the project members. We're also going to be releasing videos of each of our choreo night pieces, or maybe just like a summary of what we're doing for choreo nights. So keep your eyes peeled, keep updated with your social media. And then last but not least, we also have mini projects with June. That's also in the works right now. And if you don't know, mini projects is a series in which we also get to create more art, but then we also make a dance into a full set. So we record that set and we get costumes, makeup, lighting, and it's basically a whole production, and it's amazing that we get to do that. And that's all that we have for today's podcast. This is going to be our last podcast for our third season. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful adventure. And I've been your host, Kenji, and this is Christina.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for our next podcast and enjoy the rest of your day.